go. About to test my talking skills. Let me center my fucking self. Oh yeah. Wow. Welcome back to the Mostly Sorry podcast. Here we are. I don't even know what episode this is anymore. Just like that. I think we're in the 20s, you know. The roaring 20s. To some of you trolls out there, the boring 20s. But yeah, here we are. Welcome. Thanks for joining us. I'm here with my producer, friend, co-host, David Deary. David said he doesn't want to talk today. How are you feeling, David?
No, I'm feeling good. I said I didn't want to talk that much. It's your podcast, Joel. Like, tear it up, you know?
Yeah.
I got my own podcast. I talk on that, so.
That's true. How's that going? How's your podcast going?
I'm insanely excited about it. It's incredible. Like,
Is it out yet?
That's it. Yeah, it's out. Yeah.
Oh, damn.
On every platform.
I mean, I love it. That's what I meant. I love the podcast.
No, I don't even care. Like, it's for me. Like, I'm doing it for me, and like my motivation is strong, and that's what I need right now. For me.
Yeah. That used to be one of my favorite things to do at an open mic. I'd say, hey, what was it? I would say, I'd go, hey, did you go up yet? And they'd go, yeah, and I'd go, I mean, good set. God, I used to hate when people would say good set to me when I very clearly bombed. When I like,
that's great.
I just want to be like, dude, you watched what happened. Why the hell would you fucking, I don't know. Anyway,
that's great.
I guess we'll just start with the fucking mental health minute. You know, I didn't want.
How you doing, Joel? You know how we start. Like,
yeah, I think.
How you doing?
I think quarantine is it's starting to get to me a little bit. Like it's just crazy. It really makes you think about our prison system, because it's like I have pretty much everything I could want here. I have my equipment. I got my guitar, all that. Like, and I'm still sort of like losing my mind every couple of days. I start to get a little dark, but just
can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
That maybe could set off like another,
yeah, please,
conversation. Do you think you're a little bit like upset or getting kind of quarantine fever because of what your situation is, or do you think it's because of the situation of the world?
Yeah, because I think it's both. I think it's like I feel trapped at times, but then also it doesn't matter, even if like even if everything was fine, like within, like say I lived in a mansion and had fucking, I don't know why I thought tigers immediately. If I had like tigers and a water slide and a trampoline and everything was great, I still couldn't go out into the world and like do stuff. Like I'm trying to start this band, and like I want to play shows, and like, so even if everything was optimum in that sense, like it would suck because I still can't do that. So that sucks. I don't know. And it's weird because I'm like, and I think it's part of the cabin fever thing is like, I feel so motivated to do stuff, but all the stuff I want to do is so outside worldy. Man. Yeah. I don't even know. I don't know. It'd be a trip.
Maybe you got to find some inside worldy stuff, Maybe you got to find something that like, like something personal, like that's not gonna like this podcast, for example. That you can do.
This is great, and it's a bit of it's a connection to the outside world. I think that like I thought about just ordering a notebook the other day, because like so when I was doing like the rap stuff, like that stuff, it's hard for me because I'm really respected, and I'm pretty like, I like technical rappers, and I like stuff like that. So it would take me a really long time because I would want to make sure that I was at the best of my ability when I was writing stuff. And that stuff would just sometimes lead to me getting a headache and like not finishing a fucking song for fucking months, So like, but then when I started working on this punk record, that to me, if it was just, I don't know, it really made me realize like that I've been sort of involved in the punk world in some way since I was like a teenager, since I was like 15, 16, and so I think that style of songwriting kind of is a little bit rapping was like a fish trying to walk for me, and like the punk stuff is like a fish trying to swim or swimming. It's like it's still hard sometimes because you're swimming against the current or whatever, but it's like it feels more of like a thing that I've practiced for a really long time. So maybe I will. Maybe today I'll order a notebook and sort of like, cause I haven't had in a very long time a sort of like lyric book for like punk songs, and me and Chappelle Lacey have been talking about starting a band, and so for the last like 8 days, I was making a new demo to send him every day. So I had made like 8 different like punk songs, kind of complete songs, very simple using GarageBand, but was just sending it to him we were going to do a band where I play drums, he sings, and then we have, bass and guitar, my buddy Ryan, and then Chris on guitar. And he's never done anything like that. So I was like, let me send you these demos. Maybe I'll get the wheels turning for you to start like writing lyrics to this stuff. And maybe we start figuring out what our sound is. And so that was fun. So for like 8 or 9 days in a row, every morning I would get up at like 10 and do a demo from like 10 to... Sometimes it would come really fast. I'd be done in like 20 minutes, and then sometimes it would take me like an hour to finish it. But yeah, I don't know. So maybe. But so my point being, I've been realizing like, man, I can like write a lot of songs. Like they're not technical, they're not Tool or anything like that. But like I understand the genre enough and have been in it long enough to where it's fun. It's fun, and like I'm sort of newer at guitar, but kind of good enough. I'm a novice at guitar, but I'm good enough to write punk songs. So like I'm new enough to still have that like wide-eyed fun of doing it. Like I'm enjoying it. So I'm like, damn, maybe like, maybe I could do both. I'm gonna do both. Like maybe. Yeah, I mean, that guy's the shit. That guy's like a legit dude. I just watched that Sound City documentary. That it's like Dave Grohl he's such a talented fucking dude. It's kind of crazy. It was so. Did you see that Sound City documentary?
Did you know that he was in Nirvana?
What? He was the baby on the album cover, right? Yeah, he. Did you see Sound City?
It's kind of crazy that he was in Nirvana, though.
It is crazy. Yeah. Did you?
Like, it's kind of like dudes like that have these. No, I didn't see that documentary.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, all right.
No, but I'm just saying it's nuts that there's people out there that are just like, they're like, oh yeah, I was in like one of the greatest bands of all time,
man,
and that's not even my main career.
That is crazy. When you say it like that, it's like the first third of his career.
That's not the biggest he ever was, It's like, I was in that
nuts.
Amazing band. Now I'm even bigger.
Yeah. God.
But I mean, I know it's not the same. Like, it's probably like nothing will ever replace Nirvana. I'm not saying it's as good or as like worthy.
Yeah.
But it's something he did, and then he was just like, well, I'm not gonna like. He probably could have just. kept doing Nirvana stuff.
Mm-hmm. He could have sat back on that, but instead he fucking hit the fucking. The wheels were spinning for that, man. I like so you should watch the Sound City documentary. It's basically about this studio in Van Nuys that had a special mixing board that this guy, I think his last name was Neve, the Neve board or something.
Yeah, Neve.
Yeah, and something about it it was so well made that just it captured fucking sound like so well, and they had one of the best drum rooms in the fucking world, and sort of the ups and downs of the studio and how digital stuff basically ended up, closing the studio down, but then Grohl bought the fucking board and it's in his studio now, and he does a record with all the artists like Stevie Nicks and Lee Ving from Fear and Paul McCartney, dude. So there's a scene where him, Paul McCartney, Chris Novoselic, and fucking Pat Smear from the Germs are like playing live in the fucking thing, like recording a song, and it's really good. What I like about Dave Grohl is a lot of the interviews I've seen, he seems to be really in the moment when they're asking him the questions. if it's like the Sound City one, or I saw him in a trailer for this DC punk doc, and it seems like he's really in the moment answering these questions from a true feeling point. Like he's like, I don't know, it seems like he cares about music a lot, which is nice, which is something that I didn't have for a long time. I didn't want to play music for a very long time. Like when I started doing stand up, I was like, I had done the band thing. It was just stressful because I always felt like I like the most dedicated member, and then when I wasn't the most dedicated member, I was like annoyed because like I was like, man, why is this guy so fucking like gung ho about this band? Like it's not that fun, you know. But and then I didn't play music for a long time because I was doing stand up. I was like, this is great. I could show up alone and just do this. I don't have to wait for my bass player who's an hour away and we go on in 30 minutes, you know, and panic till you hit the stage. And then I met Pat. We played for a bit, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, fast forward to now where now I'm like, you know, we're all fucking quarantined and stuff and like lockdown, and like my creative wheels are like going now, and I want to like make music again, and it's fun again. And I've actually like for a long time I couldn't listen to music. I liked podcasts. Like music, I'm super sensitive to music. Like minor chord in a thing will like make me cry. Like I'll start panicking. I'll start thinking of like stuff, you know, and it's yeah, it's crazy. And now I've been enjoying it, man. I like, my mom got me that Bad Religion ticket for the concert for Christmas, and I enjoyed the hell out of watching them play live, like, you know, 4 shows digitally, but still it was great to see these guys play live music. And I don't know, now when I'm just up at night, I find myself on YouTube watching a lot more performances. So I'm back into it, is what I'm saying. I guess long fucking way to walk for a small drink of water. Yeah, I don't know.
Hey, man, look on the bright side. Like, it's all on tape now, and everyone's going to be judging you for saying it, so that's perfect.
Whatever. I don't give a shit, man. I got called way worse things this week.
Oh, interesting. You were called things?
Yeah, I was called things this week yesterday specifically, because I was posting. So if you guys are living under a rock or anything, bunch of Trump heads stormed the Capitol yesterday, you know, and that was crazy. I thought for sure you'd be ready to fucking talk about that, David, but it's
yeah, I mean at the same time, I mean, I'm ready to talk about it, but it's like, dude, it's everywhere, you know? It's
yeah. Like, well, I just wanted to say,
what can we say, you know? Yeah, but I mean, dude, talk about it. It's
yeah. I mean, my thing was, I can't see a more clear picture that there is like 2 Americas, you know, if not more than 2, but it's like, it's just crazy to me that there wasn't just a hailstorm of bullets and
right.
tanks,
helicopters, and yeah.
So I got called a couple things. First of all, my favorite phrase is sheep, right? I got called a sheep yesterday because this guy, I was showing videos, right? Like the difference between like the Black Lives Matter protests and then what happened yesterday. And some guy goes, here's actual footage. And he sent me 3 clips of cops in riot gear, but still nobody was getting, you know, shot or beat or, you know, I think he thought like, he's like, here's real footage. Like what you're showing is like he thought I was showing like rated G stuff. And the stuff he sent me was PG-13 at best. You know, it's like,
dude, they only arrested 14 people.
That's so crazy. What happened to when the looting starts, the shooting starts, you know? Like,
dude,
fucking...
they only arrested 14 people. Yeah. Isn't that fucking nuts?
That's insane. Yeah, and honestly, they'll probably let them go, too. And I saw a video of a cop, like, helping a woman down the stairs. Like, he was like, holy... It's like, what? So the first guy was like, here's actual footage, you sheep. And I was like, Jesus, all right, dude. You know what's the biggest bummer? And then I'll say the funniest one that I got called. The bummer is that these people, they think that they're like punk rock. It's so annoying. They're like, dude, we're the rebels, dude. It's like, they don't realize that like, they're just puppets, dude. Like they have been duped into thinking that this is a real rebellion when really they are just sort of like fulfilling the wishes of the higher ups. It's like there is nothing more sheep than what the fuck they're doing. Like it's fucking, it's
but
really
it's unfortunate. Like, don't you feel like it's like I'll say this about like, you know, Trump supporters are American people. They're people, and they've been like duped. It's like, but I feel bad because they're passionate people a lot of times.
Yeah.
A lot of rednecks, a lot of pro-gun rednecks, and like a lot of like super pro-military rednecks, and like middle America people.
Yeah.
They're good people.
Yeah.
They're decent people.
Of course.
And their ideas are like ultimately good. They like they want a government that's like run by the people.
Well, do you remember
they've been guided in the wrong direction? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Do you remember they did like a Jeopardy sketch on SNL where Tom Hanks was like in the MAGA hat? It was like Black Jeopardy or something. And
I didn't see it. I like don't watch much.
Okay,
SNL,
yeah,
but I did see imagery of it. Yeah,
well, the whole thing that ends up being is like they're way more similar than they are apart, you know. And then it ends with the funny thing like I think the question's like which lives matter or something, and then they all like look at Tom Hanks and it's like, well, if you just and then they just like end the sketch, but it's like it's funny, yeah. I mean, that's the thing. It's like a white working class person has so much more in common with a Mexican working class person or a black working class person than they do with the Trumps or the fucking these people. It's this weird. It's just a weird thing.
That is the weird thing where it's like these people relate to, you know, because of brainwashing and because of like years of just like, you know, just ingrained racism, they relate to rich, you know, Americans more than they do a Mexican person.
Yeah.
It's like, bro, you work at a fucking, what are you talking about? Like wherever you work at a fucking like factory, or you're a working class dude.
For sure. Yeah, your daily needs are way closer to this guy's daily needs. Yeah.
And so many of them are on welfare, and then just talking shit about like, you know, oh, only black people are on welfare and blacks do this and blacks do, you know, like the taxi driver I had in Ohio, you know, I got to get that recording, but I recorded the guy. Taxi driver. It's like, bro, you're a taxi driver.
Yeah.
And you're talking about how black people are fucking ignorant and black people don't want to work, and I don't know, man. It's just like, bro, you're a fucking taxi driver, man.
Man, that's crazy.
You know what I mean?
There was a video somewhere on one of like the Foo, like not Foo's Gone Wild, but some other Foo account. It was like Hustle Unmatched, and it was like this Mexican dude out there at where they were storming DC selling hot dogs. Dude, he's like trying to get his fucking his money. I'm like, dude, unmatched fucking hustle. I mean, I see that even. You know, that shit brings me to tears sometimes, man. I'd pull up at, like, drive by the Food for Less or something. You got Mexican people out there, like, selling masks. And, like, it's, like, just the work ethic and, like, the quick fucking, like, we got to figure out a way to do this really,
I mean,
like.
The stereotype is that Mexicans will do any job and do it fucking better than anybody else. I mean, that's not a bad stereotype.
No.
And it's definitely not far from the truth. Like, even in the last job I had, the Mexican dudes who worked at the pizza place worked. I mean, and one of the dudes was literally from Mexico, so he was just, like, happy and just fucking working so fast. I'd be like, bro, like, slow down, man. You're fucking ruining it for everybody.
Yeah.
You're working way too hard.
You're raising the bar, dude.
Yeah, like, we're not getting paid that much, dude. You don't understand. Like, this is, like, you can't make... And then the white dudes were just on their phone all the time and just... only working when you said, hey, man, could you literally, like, do this work you're supposed to do right now? They'd be like, oh, man, all right.
Yeah, for sure. I know. It's fucking...
And one of the Mexican dudes would never even ask people to do work. Like, dudes would be slacking. He would literally just be like, man, he wouldn't say a word. He would just go to the fucking, like, salad station, start doing the other dude's job for him.
Yeah.
And not even say shit. And then... fuck, it's hilarious, you know?
Yeah, it's crazy, man. I don't get it.
Then there's the Mexicans that are rapists, too, so I get that, you know what I mean?
How dare you? That's such a crazy fucking dude. It's like... It's
just a numbers game, bro. There's like, you know, if there's enough people, there's going to be rapists, so, you know.
Well, yeah. It has nothing
Mexicans that aren't rapists, but no, I know. I was just being.
No, I know you're being sorry. I feel like I have to clarify just to save your ass, you know.
Oh, please, just let me go, man. Let me cancel me.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, getting canceled might be a good.
I want to do something really bad though to get canceled.
Like
I don't want
what?
to say something. I want to do something.
Like shit on stage and throw it at the fans that are watching the show.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, something like that.
And we're back, baby. Back to the fucking GG hour, dude.
Like force someone to watch me shower just to be a guest on the Mostly Sorry podcast.
Oh my god, that's the. Honestly, that sounds awful. I was gonna say I would not want to watch
me shower. Sounds awful.
Yeah, I feel like you have a
Being
hairy
watched.
butt, dude. I feel like you have a hairy butt. Is that right?
Should we? I don't know. You want to?
No, we'll get pulled. Right. Believe me, I've been there before.
Anyway, man. Anyway, you were talking about like how crazy, dude. It's too insane for me. It's like there's so many levels. Like I was even arguing with someone on Facebook on my dad's Facebook. I would never do this, never. But like the woman was on there talking about how it's Antifa, and I was just like, lady, like the president literally posted a Twitter message saying, "We love you. You're special.
Yeah.
We understand where you're coming from." He wouldn't say that if it wasn't his fucking followers. Are you serious?
Yeah, it was fucking crazy. That was crazy, dude. We love you. You're good people. We love you. Go home.
Put a fucking pipe bomb in the fucking the committee, the Republican committee. Like, there's been pipe bombs found.
Yeah, that shit's nuts.
You're not good people.
Man, what a crazy. No, I know. Well, it's funny. So my favorite one was I was just sharing videos, right? Because it's like I feel, and this is a crazy. I've said this before, but it's like there is this weird thing where like, and I've seen it. I saw it today. Some skateboarding account posted a video, and somebody was like, "I follow you for the skateboarding. Unfollow." And it's like, where at what point does because you do one thing rob you of your opinion? Or like Tom Morello, like he should just play guitar and not have an opinion on the world. It's like those things are together. But anyway, I feel like
interesting. That's an interesting point. Like you should like dig more deeper into that for a future episode and like do a little research where does that mentality come from?
I think it's just I don't know. It's
But carry on, you know.
Yeah, no, I mean my point being like I feel I have a bit of a platform, right? I got a couple thousand followers, and like it feels wrong to not share at least what I believe in. Whatever. If you don't like it, that's the thing. You can unfollow me. You don't have to follow me. You literally don't. It's so easy. I mean, we talked about this on the Patreon about dude deleting his entire YouTube existence. It's like, if you don't like it, just touch the button. Technology has made it so simple. And so what I hope to do almost by sharing these things is start to weed out those the idiots that I don't want. I don't want them showing up to my shows, man. Could you imagine? Like, it seems like such a curse to curate an audience that you hate. Like, dude. And I bet there are people that do it that because of the money they
tons of people that do it.
Yeah, and it's fucking weird, man. It's oh man, remind me about I got so many things to say. Hold on. We could just I think about like the other day I saw a clip of Jeff Dunham, right? Like the puppets, like oh my god, it's so racist, dude. It's a jalapeno puppet. He has one, right? And then he's got the fucking a skeleton guy, like a skeleton terrorist, basically, who's fucking
Ahmed the Dead terrorist.
Yeah,
that's pretty funny.
His fucking phrases, "I'll kill you." It's like, it's not funny. I don't know. It
funny.
Seems hack, dude.
It's hack as shit. But it's like, I mean, dude, it's hack as shit. But it's a puppet. You know what I mean? But
yeah,
also,
that's fine. But here's what I'll say. It's just like the laziness of like watching it, just being like, dude, like. I don't know. I don't think it's funny.
Imagine that being your like number one thing, and also, yeah, you're gonna if like, I wouldn't say that's racist, but if you don't think that cultivates racist fans, I mean, come on, they're gonna love that shit because they're racist. You know what I mean? If they don't like Muslims, and they're like, oh yeah, there's that Muslim puppet, and then they're all terrorists and all that. So yeah,
I will say that
I wouldn't do it based on that alone. Yeah, it's like you get what you fucking. If you bake a fucking cheesecake, I hope you like cheesecake.
Yeah, man. I just couldn't. I think that just having a jalapeno puppet it's pretty racist, I think. But also there are racist things that are funny. I'm not saying that it's not. Blazing Saddles is like there's some racist shit in there. It's like it's funny. I think what happens.
Race humor is funny. Come on, like
yes,
race
yeah,
humor
of course. If it's done well, no. I would say. Yeah, I guess so.
Jalapeno puppet has a possibility of being very funny, but it could also be very hack and just be like if it's just.
Well, that's the thing. Accent. I think that the hackiness makes it where it's like almost borderline racist because you're not really like making a statement. Like, you're not fucking uplifting anything. You're just fucking here's a jalapeno. He's got an accent. That's it. Where like Blazing Saddles,
it could be funny if it was meta and it was like
I guess yeah. I'll give
like
layers
if the puppet
to that.
was like kind of commentating on how the idea was racist or something
for
like
sure.
That,
I thought about doing
or possibly racist or like I want to do a black banana, but anyway, like let's
holy shit.
let's
wait is this banana black because it's like old?
Yeah, you know how a banana gets old and then you can still use it to make a banana bread?
Yeah, for sure.
So it's still good.
Yeah.
But it's like it's
fucking
but it's fermented. I actually want to make a cartoon called Rotten Veggies or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's just like these bad fruits, like something like Jamar Neighbors would play the black banana.
For sure, that's funny, man.
And I don't want it to be racist. Obviously, I don't want the banana to just be like, man, what's up with that, yo?
Yeah.
But I want him to be black. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I want it to be like, I want it to be like a.
It's a commentary. You're thinking about like a social commentary. Yeah, that makes sense. But so back to my favorite thing that somebody said. So I'm sharing these clips.
Yeah, I was gonna say you were sharing the clip. The guy called you sheep.
Okay, that's the first one, and then the next one, some guy just goes, "No, nobody cares, homo." And I was like,
great.
Dude, I'm like, who fucking talks like that anymore? Was
awesome.
What a peach, man. What a fucking, who would hang out with this guy, dude? Nobody cares, homo. I'm posting like crazy shit. Like these videos are fucking nuts, right? And they're just like, but that is like the mentality of some of these people. It's like nobody cares. It's like, well, obviously people care, dude. Like, he's like the bully in the classroom who's like, shut up, like idiot, and you're just like, what? Like, it was I literally was like, what the fuck, dude? So I don't know. I didn't respond to either
what
of these
the fuck
people,
did you check his was it Instagram? What was it? Did you check his profile?
Yeah, I think his profile is private. They're always private.
Oh, okay.
They're always private, or you see them and they're just like these fucking. I don't know. It's just weird. Most of the time they're private. The last thing that he commented was months ago because I shared some Talib thing, and he's like, "Yeah, my favorite thing about Talib is that he's openly racist." And I was like, "What? What are you talking about?" It was weird, man. People were going at Talib Kweli yesterday too on his Instagram, and all he was doing was putting an arrow to their name and putting white supremacist alert. And I was like, it was pretty funny because everybody that was like had some comment, he just like immediately like was commenting with the arrow and putting that. But yeah, it's strange, man.
Let me ask you this question, man. Like, let's just keep it on the lighter side. I mean, it's a very serious, a very, very serious situation. But were there any pictures that you saw that you actually laughed and thought were funny, or like any videos that you saw that you like kind of, I don't want to say,
yeah, honestly,
embrace the people, but.
Nah.
Like, what about that smiling guy holding the podium walking
Well,
out?
I hate it because of the way that those fuckers acted about the looting, It's like he's literally stealing something from the Capitol. Yeah, man, I don't know. I was pretty
but I mean, we had an open mind to the looters as well. Like I would say the same thing. The looting and shit was pretty crazy and bad. Like I wouldn't expect those people to get out of there without being arrested. But I say
lives over property. Lives over property all day, dude. Fuck it. I don't know. That's just.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, fuck the rich and loot the fucking shit out of there. That loot them. Fuck them, man. They don't deserve anything.
That guy, I didn't like.
I mean, if you get caught if you get caught doing that shit and go to jail, I mean, this is the kind of system we're in, right?
Yeah, I mean, fuck the cops too. It's just weird.
Fuck them. I mean, dude, but there's some level of protecting property you have to have.
What bummed me out?
I wouldn't let somebody come into your house and fucking steal your shit either. But I get what you're saying.
No, I'm talking about the bigger.
I did think it was kind of funny to see that photo.
You know what deeply bummed me out was the smile on his fucking face. It's like that smile to me just reeks of like we're untouchable sort of shit, And I don't know, it's just a bummer, man. All that stuff to me was like, and I saw a great tweet. It was like, we're not asking for the cops to shoot these people. We're just asking for the cops not to shoot us the way they didn't shoot those people. It's like
exactly.
That's what it is. It's not that I wanted them to get arrested or fucking shot up. It's that like, well, here it is, and then why is this other thing this other way? But yeah, I don't know, man. It really bummed me out.
But not seeing them get the shit beat out of them was just like a strange thing where it was like, how the fuck? There wasn't even that many people. Like, let's be real. Like. That's like I said, I think we had this conversation. There's not that many of them. There's not that many Trump extremists.
Yeah.
Relatively speaking, probably more than I expected, but a lot of those people were just like weekend warriors as well, like just kind of going along with it. The mob.
Sure.
There was probably
sheep, if you will.
Sheep. Yeah, for sure. There's probably like literally a few hundred, maybe 1,000 like real deal, I'm willing to die for this shit.
Yeah, the ones with the zip ties and the fucking other shit,
and
weapons.
For some reason, they just got let in. There's no way you couldn't just stop 1,000 people. It's like, dude, I've seen concerts with more security than that fucking Capitol building.
Dude, that makes me think I could just get into the White House, dude. It's like, what is like...
Right?
What happened? I mean, the amount of money...
No, what happened. You know what happened, man. It's an inside job. The police on some level... They knew about this, and they let them in. And obviously, you'd have to think President Trump's people are in charge of federal, security forces around the Capitol. Yeah. So it was a legitimate attempt to really fuck shit up, And they, you see like 5 or 6 police like, no helmets, no riot
crazy,
gear.
Yeah.
Oh no, don't come in here.
Well, I even saw a clip later of people with riot gear, but even those, they were being pretty nice. They weren't like, it wasn't.
And they were outnumbered. I saw some videos as well where I was like, okay, here's a couple, but it's like there was literally 10 riot cops. 10. When have you ever seen 10?
Yeah.
10. Like 10 riot. I've never seen 10 riot cops in the same area. You see 100.
Yeah.
You see 100 riot cops in an area.
I'm just tripping because, like, remember the National Guard was, like, called up so quickly for the other stuff, Like, it was like looting, shooting, baby. That's it. And then it's like...
Crazy.
I don't know. Yeah, it's...
rumor has it, I read a tweet that said that the Department of Homeland Security or the Department of Justice actually denied the request for the National Guard.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's true or not, but one thing I also... read that I think is true is that Donald Trump didn't even call the National Guard.
Man.
Mike Pence actually did.
Yeah.
And I don't know how deeply you've been following like Parler and all the fucking like.
No, I need to, man. I was honestly, like I've said before, I'm not like the fucking smartest person in the world, but like I feel things, and that's a legitimate thing. And yesterday I was just like, man, I was like sort of dumbfounded by the whole thing. It was just weird, man. It was weird.
No, they've been organizing this for a while. And, like, Lynn Wood, who's Donald Trump's lawyer, literally the day before said Mike Pence deserves to be executed.
Holy shit. He deserves
a fire. Yeah. He said storm the Capitol and execute Mike Pence first. I mean, it's insane. It's like, dude, it's right there. It's all right there.
Mm-hmm.
Rudy Giuliani, hours before it happened, said, we're not getting a fair trial. Let's have a trial by combat.
Damn.
Okay. Donald Trump Jr., hours before it happened, he's blocks away from the Capitol saying, are you just going to lay down and let the government do this to you?
Yeah.
Are you, the American people, are you going to just lay down and let this happen?
Yeah.
Okay. 20 minutes later, an hour later, 2 hours later, Donald Trump said, we're going to march down Pennsylvania Avenue, and I'm going to be with you, and we're going to go to the Capitol building, and we're going to be strong. Yeah. We're going to be strong because if you don't fight for this country, we won't have a country.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck do you? What kind of message? Like, it's not.
Yeah. It's like it's legally worded where it's not, like that. Like we're gonna be strong.
Bro,
it's like in a court of law.
To be honest with you, I don't think in a court of law it would hold up. I mean, that's incitement.
Yeah.
If
for
tells
sure.
Me
I'm
go
saying
down there and take care of business, and I go down there and fucking like smack this fucking dude up.
Yeah. Well, but you know what I'm saying, right? Like the way that they're wording stuff
they
is
try
like
to code everything. Yeah.
Man,
dog whistles.
That's so crazy. You know what's funny is like I'd be willing for that for like the right cause. It's weird that it's like this is not the right cause, man. I don't believe it in my heart that this is like it's just these weird billionaires. They're companies, dude. It's like,
oh my God, you have to even preface in your like you don't believe it in your heart. It's not the right cause.
Yeah, well, no, I gotta say because
Christ,
because the reason I say that is because people will say, whatever, like people can people will find the facts that they want to sort of like argue a point. So I'm not even gonna like argue the facts point. I'm just gonna say like my own emotional sort of like feeling towards it that I don't feel that. So that's why I say that.
Let me help people out. Let me personally help people out because I feel like not arguing with Trump people, but here's some angles. If you're having a hard time discussing this with your family members or people that you love, here's some things that you just really just need to be aware of. Donald Trump said all that stuff in the beginning, and then afterwards he said, "We love you. We understand where you're coming from. This election was stolen from you," right? And here's the thing, right? If you're a patriot, like talking to the Trump people, like if you're a patriot, why don't you respect the judicial branch of our government? Why don't you respect it? He's been to court 60 times. That's where fraud in an election would be dealt with. That's our government. Like if you are a patriot, right? If you're using the word patriot, that means you believe in our country. If you believe in our country, then you believe in the system that we have. Because if you don't believe in the system, if you're an anarchist or if you're whatever it is you are, and you believe that violence is the way to go about it, or some way, not through the judicial, electoral, what's the other branch of government? Why am I being such a fucking retard? Legislative branch.
Yeah.
If you don't think that way of going about it is the way to go about it, you're not a patriot, right?
Yeah.
You're not a patriot. So it's so easy to get these people by saying, "Are you a patriot?" Yes. Okay. Why don't you respect the judicial branch?
Yeah.
Why does Donald Trump get some kind of secretive, like, power structure that's not our system? We don't have a king. We don't have a monarchy. We don't have, like, my way or the highway. We have laws. We have branches of government, and you have to follow those branches and respect those branches.
Yeah.
So you go to court 60 times. 60. Not 3.
Yeah.
Not 6, not 5. 60.
It's wild. And I listened to the fucking phone call the other day. It was insane, dude. It was like that one phone call. I was like, I got like 30 minutes and I couldn't believe it. It was pretty, God, it was better than some of the Netflix shows I've watched, dude.
There's a reality that like a lot of us have to face is that some of these people aren't savable. They're lost. They're in a cult.
That scares me. That bums me out because like, it's like the Dodgers winning the World Series thing where like there are still people who will like, wait, that's not a good example. I don't want to bring them into this. Here's my
No,
it's
thing. Exactly like the Dodgers because
no.
Let's face it, we would storm Yankee Stadium for the Dodgers.
I mean, I would probably. No, no, I was like, there are people that no matter what for the next 30 years they're going to be like, yeah, that election was stolen. Like they till their grave.
100%. Yeah, 100%.
Gun to their head.
Already, like I said, I was arguing with a lady on my dad's Facebook, instantly like just looking for a way to like not blame the president on this. She's like, it's definitely Antifa. They dress like Trump supporters. It's like, lady.
Oh, that's so crazy. That's wild, man.
Oh yeah, and then they are so engulfed in the ideology of like pretending to be Trump supporters that they bring Confederate flags in.
Yeah,
they
that was
wear
wild,
they
man.
wear Nazi paraphernalia. They there's the dude wearing a Auschwitz University shirt or something like that.
Holy
just like
shit.
Camp Auschwitz. What do you mean, holy shit? It's just like these.
No, I
these
just
people
didn't
are.
see it. I don't mean like I'm not surprised. I just
fucking-
didn't see
dude.
that photo. Yeah.
Did you hear about the Congresswoman giving a speech to Mothers for America?
No, tell me.
You didn't hear what she
please.
said?
No.
This is a direct quote. Well, Hitler was right about one thing, and that's if you have the youth, you have the future.
Holy shit.
Yeah, this is a congresswoman. This is
Holy
someone that's
shit.
in our government.
Damn,
Literally
dude.
said,
Yeah.
said,
Yeah.
Hitler was right about one thing. Couldn't you find someone else that had the same exact thought?
Yeah. I know. Jesus.
No, you can't because
Dude.
you're a fucking Nazi. You're
Yeah.
trying to find a coded way to like slip Hitler in there.
Yeah.
That's what they do. Oh well, actually, Hitler wasn't that bad because he
Yeah.
did build some good highways.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
fuck?
He was a good painter.
I don't give a fuck about his
He
highways.
was a vegetarian.
Manson made a great album, dude. Honestly, good.
Yeah, is it
dude,
good?
I can actually, I can
I know
listen to
Marilyn
it.
Manson covered that song "My Monkey," but yeah, I don't know. And
I'm not even lying. Charles Manson made a great album, but fuck that dude.
Yeah,
You know?
I mean
He was
the
a fucking
devil
psychopath.
has inspired some really great metal bands. I'll say that.
Who was the dude who cut his guitarist's finger, like killed his guitarist, and then cut his finger off and wore it around his
No,
neck?
that was Mayhem. So the guy, I watched a documentary on this the other day called Until the Light Takes Us. It's about black metal in Norway. And the guy fucking shot himself, and then the other guy came to the house, didn't have a key, so he had to climb up through the window, finds the guy there dead, and instead of calling the cops, gets his camera, takes photos of the suicide scene, and then apparently the rumors are later that they don't talk about this in the doc, but that he like made a necklace out of a fragment of his skull and may have cooked and eaten a piece of his brain.
Wow. And he fucked him too, for sure.
Who knows? I
Or
mean,
jerked
at that
off on
point-
him.
yeah,
Something. Come on, man.
It was a- that
Gotta
was
do
a-
something sexual.
I don't know. What's weird about that?
He put his dick in the guy's mouth. He did something.
Oh my god, dude! The guy didn't. It was crazy because I stared at the photo for a little bit. Sometimes those photos really fucking bum me out. Like, it's
Wait,
hard
a
to.
photo of a. They showed a photo.
Yeah, they show a photo because they made it their album cover, dude.
What the fuck? Wait.
Yes,
Oh my god.
Mayhem,
wait,
dude.
wait.
Yes.
Wait.
I love that you haven't
So the
heard
dude, the dude killed himself, right?
Yes.
Okay.
The
And
other
then
guy
the
finds
singer,
him.
He finds him.
Yeah, I don't know if it was
And
the singer
instead
or
of
who.
calling the either way.
Yeah.
One of the guys in the group, he finds him.
Yeah.
And instead of calling the police, he takes photos and then cuts him up.
No. He just, I guess, because his. Okay, this is fucking fucked
He
up.
shot himself.
The guy shot himself, yeah, with a shotgun. So his head,
Okay.
his brain had fallen out of his head and stuff. And apparently he had made a necklace from a fragment of skull. But the weird thing about the black metal scene at that time, that there's so many rumors and stuff that had floated around and stories. And I think by this point, like, I don't know if anybody really knows the truth, but apparently that, that's the story that they were like
Wait,
trying
so,
to out
okay,
evil
and
each
then-
other,
And then he called the police or called like.
I guess, yeah, and then they fucking yeah.
Okay, and then he used the photo for an album cover.
Yes, they developed the film and they used the photo for an album cover.
And he got in trouble for all this stuff or no?
I don't know. So Mayhem is such a crazy. I don't know. I don't know if he got in trouble. I think later on he killed somebody and now he's in jail or fuck man. I
think
feel
it's
like
a
I heard.
I feel like we're gonna have to Google this because I feel
Yeah.
like there is a guy who he killed somebody and they found out that he murdered the guy because they found DNA evidence on a necklace that he made.
Huh.
I
I'm getting
I
my
feel like
laptop.
that's all kinds of stories. I mean, we
Well,
could
there's
Google
also-
this and we could share it on a different episode. But,
Yeah.
we could
Okay.
also-
All right. Maybe we'll do that. But
Yeah.
so that's the thing. What they were saying was like, all these rumors got swirled up, and there's all these bands that have that were caught up in that original like black metal scene. But Mayhem was definitely like one of the craziest. I mean, the guy who shot himself, his nickname was Dead, and so there's a funny there. This is funny. The guy was saying, he found dead.
That's great. He really lived up to his nickname.
Yeah, I mean, he was really down for his shit. I mean, yeah, it was an interesting.
They really weren't calling him that ironically, were they?
Dude, no, dude. It was a crazy documentary. I mean, the guy was talking about one of the guys. What was the band? Burzum, I think, was that guy's in jail now for stabbing someone. He killed a guy because he had heard rumors that this guy was planning to like basically get him, drug him, take him to the forest, and make like a snuff film of murdering while torturing him. So he heard all this stuff, and then the guy called him up to his house to sign some contract, and he's like, this dude's gonna fucking kill me right now, like whatever. So he came prepared, and he fucking ended up like stabbing the guy to death, and they went away, and then he went to jail. What's crazy too, in Norway, there's a maximum sentence, which is crazy. 20 years is the maximum sentence.
Yeah, wasn't the guy who like was that Norway where there was a terrorist attack? And they could only
remember.
give the guy like 20 years.
Yeah,
he went to a beach. This crazy psycho like. Yeah, just a fucking mass shooter. I think it was Norway, like a 4chan. Oh yeah, he shot a bunch of people.
What the fuck?
And then there's like all kinds of like. I gotta look that up as well, but I remember there just being like all kinds of fucking like crazy shit online about like how great it is that they only have this, like their prison systems are like loose because they know that it doesn't help to keep a guy in jail for his whole life. You know, if you can't save a guy in 20 years, I mean,
I mean, 20 years is a long fucking time too. It's like,
you ever been to jail?
No, this is one of my biggest fears, dude. I'm telling you, I'm feeling cabin fever in a home where I have
if you were in jail for one day, you'd be like, okay, this isn't really comparable, but dude, I get where your comparison is.
No, I'm saying that this is bad, so I can't even imagine the actual fucking thing, you know? I think honestly, I wouldn't make it whether someone killed me or I couldn't handle it and I fucking just couldn't take it.
Make it. No,
I'd convert to Islam.
I think it gets easier as I only had short.
Not to mock Islam, I'm saying that because that's like a known thing,
it's
right?
It's a jail thing.
It's a jail.
No, I'm just saying it's a way to cope. But I've only had short times in jail. But like people who have done longer bids in jail have always told me like it does get easier and easier as you go on because it just becomes like that becomes your life, and your life just becomes the same as your life outside. Mm-hmm. You just get a job, or you like make friends, or you have a hobby, and
I mean, I know family. I've got family that's gone and friends, you know, and it's just not a good fucking scene. And I've had friends who have gone who didn't really belong there in the first place, and you're like, damn, like you're not even the type that should be in there, dude. Like you just made a mistake or something. But anyway,
nobody's getting rehabilitated in jail either.
But it was crazy. Yeah, they're interviewing this dude in this Norwegian jail, and I was like, this looks like a fucking office. Like he's got a computer. Like he's like, you know, I don't know, it's weird. But yeah, we should do a mostly black metal thing. Let's do
it. I'll watch that documentary.
But so there's that one, but then they don't really. I gotta find a couple. Vice did a thing on Mayhem, which is also interesting. But what I did think was,
have you ever seen Wacken?
No, what's that? I know the name.
It's the German metal festival that they have every year, and they have like a really funny documentary about it that I saw.
No, that's funny.
Yeah, it's like a farm in Germany.
Okay.
Where they have like a heavy metal festival every year, and it's blown up. Like everyone's played it. Ozzy's played it. Like dude, Slayer. Damn. Like everyone's played it. It's massive. They get like hundreds of thousands of people in it. But it's just like the documentary just looks like a mockumentary because it's like, you know, 99% dudes.
Yeah, for sure.
99% dudes with the same haircut.
Yeah. It's crazy.
You know what I mean? It just, they all look exactly the same. They all talk exactly the same. It's wild.
So this Until the Light Takes Us is basically like, it centers around like the two guys who basically created like the black metal sound, and they talk a little bit about who started the face paint stuff, and like, but the one cool thing is the guy who was I think the one who was in jail, he was saying like when he recorded his first thing, which I thought was cool because as an anti-thing to all this overproduced shit, he asked them, he wanted the worst microphones they had. He wanted the worst amplifier they had, it just as an anti to the overproduced thing. And like he said he sang through a headset, which like headphones, they ran it into the microphone and that's what he sang through. And I thought that was kind of cool because that record ended up selling a lot and becoming really influential. And I thought that, you know, it's just proof that you don't need like money or anything to like make a good record. Like if you believe in what you're doing, you can do it. So I like that part of it. I can't listen to black metal for too long. It's like, it's just, I get it. And I respect the sort of operatic like intricacies, but after a while it's just like too intense. I fucking
is King Diamond black metal?
No, I don't think so. I think King Diamond's more like metal and like I don't know. It's a little different. Black metal's a very specific like sound.
What about that band Death?
No, I don't think so. I get them confused with that other band Death, the black like proto punk band.
Now this is a metal band called Death. I think they're from
they might be like death metal. So there's like so many.
I think they're death metal. Yeah,
there's some. Did you ever see that documentary, A Band Called Death?
No.
Okay, so it's about these like I think they're like
send me an email with all these, and we'll talk about the difference between black metal, death metal, and then we'll throw in some welding stuff as well. Like it, like.
But anyway, just real quick, it's about this band. They were like 3 black dudes. They basically were like a pre to punk music sort of, and they were fucking good, man. They were. It's hard to describe the sound. More like kind of like the Stooges ish, but they sort of. I think their name kind of fucked them. Like they labels wanted them to change their name, this and that, and they like never did. And so they kind of just fell away. But they did a documentary on them years later, and they're a really good band. But yeah, man, fucking the black metal thing was crazy. I've been
there it is, mostly metal coming up. I mean,
yeah,
awesome.
Yeah, let's do that.
It's exciting.
I watched another doc on.
We're getting up there, like 8 minutes left.
Yeah. I'm wrapping it up here. Man, I was just thinking, like I've covered sometimes these shows. I don't even remember where we started and how we got here, and I have to rewatch it to sort of watch the journey again. But I because I'm sort of been fascinated again by music and stuff. I've been watching a lot of like music documentaries. So I saw Sound City, I saw the black metal one, and then I watched this one called Los Punks, which was about like the backyard scene in Los Angeles, like in East LA and Boyle Heights and South Central.
I think Angela Boatwright made that.
Oh, maybe. Very possible.
I know her.
But my buddy, my friend was in it, and it was just like a trip to watch. It was really cool, man. It's just, I love what I found from it is that I love DIY culture, man. Like no matter what it is, whether it's black metal, whether it's punk, but I do think that punk and hip hop probably like really started that shit, and like I keep going back to that as like that's where my heart is. Like that is I'm really happy to have been a part of any of those like cultures in any sort of way, mostly punk, but also involved in hip hop as well. But I just think it's so cool, man. It's like it's one of the coolest things that I'm so glad to have found that in my life. And you too. I mean, we've talked about this. I mean, I don't even know if we'd be doing this podcast had that not been an influence. But just these kids in South Central, man, just throwing their own gigs and it's dope. It's really fucking dope.
Yeah, that doc looks dope, man. That doc does look dope for real.
Yeah, it's cool because you got your knuckleheads in there that are just like, just human beings. You're always going to run the risk of people who just like to drink 40s and like fucking are sort of lost. But, my heart goes out to some of them who seem just legitimately lost. But then you see there's a couple kids in that thing who are really well spoken. One's like going to be a lawyer, and he's like, I'm just taking 3 years off before I have to become a boring like fucking lawyer. And he's like well spoken, and it's just he's an artist. He paints and stuff and draws. And there's this other kid who's had serious like mental health issues, who's tried to kill himself a bunch of times, but now he's like found his love in like cooking. Like he works in a kitchen and stuff, and it's fucking dope. He's like just a line cook, but really flourishing at it. And his boss is like, man, he's got what it takes to like be back here. And his kid's dad's a dick, like Reagan. But at one of the quotes, like the dad's like, yeah, I like Reagan and he likes Black Flag. And it's just like, dude, the dad's just like a dick. It's cool, man. There's like this like a female band, and like she gets up and she's just like talking about like, like domestic violence and at this backyard gig, like, and she's like talking shit to the punk. She's like, so if you want to fucking come up here and be like a pussy, like she's like, it's pretty cool. It just seemed like the backyard scene is such an empowering thing. And I will say, like, it's like bar shows with comedy where if you do a lot of bar shows, you see a lot of comics that kind of sound the same. So there are the bands that do, you know, they have to play fast, they have to scream. It's a lot of it is that in order to capture the attention of a wild crowd at a backyard show. But through that, I was sort of like scoping out these, like, I'd say out of like 15 bands, I noticed like 4 that were, or like 4 or 5 that were like different. And I was like, all right, these guys are fucking onto something, man. They're like really creating something cool. And they talked to old punks from back in the day from East LA, and like the you know, they used to call, so they couldn't get shows on the West Side, like at the Roxy and those sort of clubs. So they were doing shows, they started throwing their own shows on the East Side, and the Hollywood punks would call them like taco punks or beaner punks and stuff like that. And it's like, fuck, I'm a fucking taco punk, dude. But
that's a cool name for a band, Taco Punks.
Taco Punk. I picked a name for my band, dude.
What is it?
It's Big Panic. I think I'm going to call it Big Panic because it's like,
Let me try to get you to change that real quick.
Well, no, I mean, no, I don't care. So to me, it's cool because it's like, it was like the name I gave to like the Cholo character on Kill Tony, but it's also like, you know, a big panic to me is like a fucking panic attack or a nervous breakdown.
Right, like your podcast called Mostly Sorry, your band's called Big Panic, and then, your movie's going to be called Kill Myself or something.
No, never. We're here to survive, baby. I'm a fucking...
Well, you know, but I mean, like, obviously, you know, you're not going to have a big panic. You're not going to be, you know, you're mostly sorry. You don't want to be mostly sorry, and you definitely, you know, you're not going to kill yourself.
I thought about calling the band Mostly Sorry, too, but, but I like Big Panic. I like that it has, like, a little bit of, like, that LA flair. I think it's, like, I already been doing, like, some mock-up album covers and stuff, and then that's for the EP I'm doing, and then me and Chappelle's
could be a cool,
thing.
It could be, yeah, it's a good name. It would be a good name for, like, a glam band. Yeah, I gotta be honest.
Well, then I'll wear makeup. I'll put a wig on.
It would be cool if you guys did a glam punk band. Like, I don't know if there's ever really
the New York Dolls.
Punk
the
band.
New York Dolls.
Oh yeah, the New York Dolls. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought about that. Like, I do like the idea of like gender bending and like doing stuff that makes people uncomfortable. Like, I like that when I dress as a woman, people get freaked out. Like, because to me, it's all fucking bullshit. Like, I don't care, man. I read this great thing on Instagram the other day, like, just to wrap this up, and about sort of what like Trump, and to take it back to that, like them sort of fanning the flames of like, we have to be strong, we're gonna march. It's like, honestly, a lot of this is just, it's people see it as an attack on their masculinity. It's like this like toxic masculinity thing where it's like, are you gonna be a bitch and let the fucking government, are you a man? You have a dick, right? You got a dick and balls, like you better fucking go in there and show them you're a man. It's like, so I think that shit is bullshit. I hate that fucking hyper masculine, like dumb bullshit. And so I like to challenge that. So I was thinking about if I do music videos and stuff, it's like I'm trying to figure out concepts of like ways to fuck with that, because I think that patriarchy in general is also bad for men who don't live up to that masculinity standard. That's what the thing said, and I was like, damn, that's right. Like, that shit has definitely affected me, where somebody's like, you're a bitch, don't be a bitch, dude, like don't be, and I'm like, well, okay, well, it's more layered than that, but you know, it's so whatever, because that's a big thing too right now on Instagram, is the whole like, don't be a bitch, like you see what you got to do and you do it, don't blame others, like, and I get it, there's some truth to that, but also there is this weird sort of hyper masculine shit that I think is very harmful and sort of like laughable in a sense, because I feel like those people are the most afraid. But anyway, I'm ranting. This is where I get fucking excited at the end of the show. Where was this an hour ago? Who fucking knows? I don't know. We're at 59 minutes and 20 seconds, so I'm just gonna vamp till we get to the end. But
you know what happens when you hit an hour, dude? You turn into a fucking pumpkin.
That's right, a pumpkin. That's right. That's cool.
I was gonna say a jalapeno, but then I changed my mind.
That would have been. I like that. That would have been funny. But I like that.
You never know. You never know what racist shit you like and what racist shit you don't like. You know what I mean? Like,
you don't know till you feel it. You don't know till it hits your ears. You know.
I knew it was funny if I said you turned into a jalapeno.
Well, it was a callback. It was good,
funny, but
It was contextually.
Some people can't
good.
take that shit. You know what I mean? And by that shit, I mean eating jalapenos. Anyway, carry on, Joel.
That's right.
Take us home, Joel.
Well, that's it. I'm excited about music again, which is fun. I was really bummed yesterday. Feeling a little bit better today. I think that what was nice was a lot of people actually reached out, like supporting the same sort of ideals that I have. So I'm glad that I have people that are fans of me or that follow me that are actually like that I would actually like to sit down and have a conversation with, and not the opposite. I don't ever want to hate my fans or whatever. Like I want to curate an audience that I would like to hang out with. And I think that slowly we're doing that with this show. And if you guys are all feeling trapped, I know this whole like quarantine lockdown thing has everybody sort of bummed out, and go try to make stuff. I'm going to order a notebook. I think I figured that out on this show. And I think creativity is really the only way out. Maybe reading, maybe I want to read a book soon. But just, you're right. There are things we can do and that are inside for now. And so I feel less dark at the end of this show. We love you guys. Join the Patreon. Please, we have some really fun episodes. I think that those talks are sometimes more relaxed because it's just a chill talk. So we're going to do mostly black metal, hopefully soon. And that's it. Shout out to Hot Bob Hot Sauce. Thank you to Luca Clothing and Addicted to Chaos and Tie Dye Company. Just all friends who have had my back before anybody gave a fuck and are still around even after some people don't. So thank you guys. I don't know, David, you have anything you want to say? Any recommendations? Anything?
I was just gonna say that also on the Patreon, I did just order silicone molding.
Nice.
So we're gonna follow through. We're gonna make a breakable glass bottle mold.
Hell yeah.
And then we're gonna make a short film that's gonna involve a bunch of breakable glass bottles being smashed over our heads somehow, just for fun,
man.
And I recommend Dan Carlin's Hardcore History.
Oh, I love that. That's a good show, man.
You got to keep yourself educated about these things, considering Donald Trump's little attempt to take over the Capitol building was very reminiscent to Hitler's beer hall putsch. Where his people were angry that they didn't actually lose the war or whatever, and they took over, anyway.
Yeah, no. It's funny. We hear it in school all the time.
Keep an eye out for similarities, you know what I mean?
Yeah, right? We hear that in school a lot. Like, you have to, why do you have to learn history? Because you're doomed to repeat it if you don't. And for some reason, we just don't see the signs sometimes. So, keep your eyes open. Fucking heads up, eyes open.
And it's exciting, because
it's fun,
You'd be surprised to what little we know about. Like, there's so much shit happening, There's Heather Cox Richardson on Facebook. She does daily updates
cool.
and always reflects back to like historical moments.
Nice.
In the US that are similar and stuff like that. So she's also amazing. Like, just follow some historians because
it's fun. You learn stuff that they don't teach you in the schools, It's like there's shit you're like, wait, I didn't know that was the fucking thing. Right. I'm glad, very lucky to have my mom was really, really like a history buff and really like rubbed that off on me. So I love it, man. There's some cool history sites on Instagram too, like photos and shit.
Yeah.
But know your fucking history, man. And that's it. Till next time. We love you guys. Yeah. Gunshots on a gun, I don't wanna be. Guilt trip, these drugs are inside of me. This is not where I wanna be. This is not who I wanna be. And these words I speak today